The Phoenix Rising pregame show is brought to you by Reese's Dental and Braces.
Two of the best in the West here in Phoenix as Rick Johnson, Phoenix Rising FC, coming off of yet another successful road trip, keep their winning streak alive. It is now at 7. Playoffs to Cameron Knowles and Portland Timbers 2, both sides sitting in first and second place respectively in the Western Conference. Pregame presented to you by Reese's Dental. Tyler Terrence along with the ex-German pro Devin Kerr. So glad to have you with us as we have a juicy fixture on our hands here tonight at Casino Arizona Field, and Phoenix Rising FC, Devin, the hottest team in the league at the moment, no question about it.
Remember, this streak stretches all the way back to May 4th. That was their last loss against Orange County. Since then, they've rattled off some beautiful performances. For me, it's the defensive side of the ball. With all due respect to everything that is going on going forward, you got to give guys credit on the back line. Only 4 goals allowed, 4 clean sheets, and they've done it in such a graceful manner. But let's not forget, FC Cincinnati had a nice run midseason last year. There are no points for second place. They'd like to continue this momentum going forward and obviously see the crown at the end of the year.
Zach Lubin is actually leading the Golden Glove race as well. And we'll take a look at Luigi Mala for Phoenix Rising. He's going to be the only change for Phoenix in their starting 11 tonight, but he's been brilliant when he's had to step in this season.
Rick Shantz will tell you, this guy doesn't get enough credit. I mean, truly, his talent level, sky high. And he said coming into this season, probably one of the ones that we were looking at the most to step up and really take full advantage of his opportunities. Hasn't necessarily worked out that way. Not always in the starting 11. Actually played with 4 different back lines over his 7 appearances. But guess what? Every single time he stepped in, including in 2 substitute roles, when they've had red cards, he's done great. 5-0-2 when that man is on the field.
And how about the opposition? Cameron Knowles has done an unbelievable job with Portland Timbers 2. They're sitting in second place right now. They got to the playoffs for the first time ever last year, but they're still looking for that full 90-minute performance. They're scoring a lot of goals, but they haven't been able to keep clean sheets.
It's quite difficult to do. You have to understand what these guys that are on 2 teams are dealing with. 27 different players have made an appearance for T2 this year, 11 of which have been on the back line. And oh, by the way, they've used 3 goalkeepers. It's really difficult when you have that many pieces coming in and out to get a clean sheet on the back line or just have a solid performance. Yes, they've succeeded gold, but they can score with the best of them as well. They are really good going forward. Lots of rotation coming in out of the midfield. Lethal in their attack.
Well, Phoenix Rising has been lethal as well. 7 wins in a row to show for it. Portland Timbers 2 looking to break up the hottest team in the USL Championship. It's Phoenix Rising and T2 when we come back.
At Arizona Federal, our passion is to help out the community where you live and work, because where you bank should make you feel good. Show your support for the home team with the Phoenix Rising Visa debit card. When you open a new account, you can score $100 just for using your card when you shop. How's that for an easy goal? Be a part of our commitment to the community. Arizona Federal Credit Union.
Mobile Mini is a lockdown defender. Have peace of mind using Mobile Mini, guarding all of your valuables on site, at home, or at your business. Mobile Mini storage containers are made of 100% steel and maximize your protection with our patented Tri-Cam locking system that is camera-proof, cut-proof, and drill-proof. Proud partner of Phoenix Rising FC.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a few years old or dinosaur old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
Almost ready for kickoff here at Casino Arizona Field between #1 Phoenix Rising FC and #2 Portland Timbers 2 in the USL Championships Western Conference. And just a reminder that tonight's game brought to you by Equality Health. And let's take a look at Phoenix Rising start 11. We mentioned it in the open, Devin. Only one change, Luigi Mala stepping in for the suspended Joey Farrell, who got sent off for 2 yellows against OKC Energy FC.
One of which was a bit questionable, but oh well, got to move on, find a way to get it done, and they've been able to do so recently. It's going to be a different test tonight, but Joey Calistri has done very well on the outside. No changes in the middle. The midfield 3 continue to push going forward. Really like what we've seen out of the outside backs and likes Amadou Dia and Dambuya going forward. That was a part that Rick Shantz did not like, said they had to get more involved in run of play in the attack. Take a look at the visitors. It's going to more of a 4-2-3-1. Hurtado and Calixtro. Calixtro is interesting, an academy player that has come in. Cornelius, Oregon, local native guy that does really well on the outside, but likes to tuck in. He will challenge the interior of the field. That'll be a move for James Musa to keep an eye on. And of course the back line, Roy Miller. How cannot give him a nod? Veteran leadership from the back line. Outside backs Hansen and Nathan Smith do very well controlling the attack from the back 4.
Well, this of course a rematch from the Western Conference quarterfinals a year ago, in which Phoenix Rising were absolutely brilliant. Actually, just a week after having gotten beaten by Portland Timbers 2 in the regular season finale, as we're officially underway here from Casino Arizona Field. 3 points up for grabs in the Western Conference of the USL Championship, and it's 2 of the best sides in this conference duking it out for what should be a terrific 90 minutes. Tyler Terrence along with Devin Kerr. So glad to have you with us on ESPN Plus or your Phoenix CW, or perhaps on the radio as well. Phoenix Rising protecting a 7-game winning streak, have not lost since that 2-1 defeat at Orange County, which seems like eons ago. Portland Timbers 2 coming off of just one of their 3 losses of the season at home against Reno, a game in which they probably got outplayed, Devin, just a little bit, and they were able to score the first goal, and it would end up being 2 goals in a matter of 2 minutes from Osofsky as well as Setka Sipley. That would dispatch Portland Timbers 2 as Harold Hansen getting forward, sending one towards the corner, and Amadou Dia has it covered for Phoenix Rising, gets a shove in the back, but Phoenix will be able to see it out for a goal kick. And let's take a look at tonight's Mayo Clinic injury report. And the usual suspects for Phoenix, Alessandro Rigi, Jason Johnson, both getting back to healthy. And just one unavailable for Cameron Knowles on the night. Phoenix coming off of that 2-game road swing in Reno, as well as Oklahoma City Energy FC. In for Adam John. Seconds will fall for James Musa. Aginaga finding Dia. He sent it to the corner, but too much on that. And Devin, Phoenix right now, obviously the hottest team in the league. I think that the only team that probably could contest that would be on the eastern side in Indy 11, but they just drew tonight against Louisville City FC. I ask you this question, who's probably their biggest contender right now in the Western Conference? Is it Portland Timbers 2, who's obviously sitting in second?
It's quite a difficult answer, to be honest, and the reason I say that is if you're going by league play, it's hard to include New Mexico United because they've lost recently. Lest us forget that they're also in the middle of a run in the quarterfinals of the U.S. Open Cups. There's been a lot of roster rotation, not necessarily concerned for their league results, but it wouldn't be fair for me to group them in based upon that run of form. That is a run and gun type team that can open Phoenix Rising up, though. I still think El Paso's a good team. They can move the ball back and forth, left and right, side to side. I mean, however you want to say it with the cliches. But if you break it down from an entirety of a squad, front to back, start to finish, this is their biggest competitor. It has to be T2 with the quality of play, the consistency of play, and what they've been able to do. And their losses, you have to remember, they've only lost once on the road this year. That was back on March 30th. And that was a road game against Los Dos. At the time, with Los Dos only had 1 loss in their opening 7 matches. A bit different than what we've seen recently from the Galaxy 2 squad. And a team that's battle-tested. You already alluded to that game against Reno. Their last 3 games have been all over the place. They've had to come from behind against Fresno at the death from the likes of Nathan Smith to get a 2-2 draw. They sat back against Orange County, got played off the park, still got a 2-0 victory. And then you alluded to it a little bit with the Reno game. It was up, it was down, it was left, it was right. They probably were on the lesser side of it, but still in it. They were out in front, Reno came back, and so a team that has had their backs up against the wall, tested a little bit. Not many teams can say that in the Western Conference.
A.J. Cochran out of the back, finding Adam John. Great little ball for Jose Aguinaga. Now Joey Calistri being asked to run onto it, but covered by the T2 back line and Harold Hansen, 19-year-old from Ontario. Joey Calistri bringing it down. He had one of the goals in that win over Reno, and Rick Schatz has just been unbelievably pleased with the way that the team has come together. And Devin, we asked him the question, what's been sort of the catalyst for this run? Because it has been sort of just a really quick turnaround. There were so many question marks involving Phoenix after that loss against Orange County. They were bringing so many different LAFC guys in. We asked him, was it LAFC? Is it the movement up front? Is it just consistency with some new players up top? And he said 95% of our success has been generated from our new approach on the defensive side of the ball.
How can it not be? It has to be. And when you look at the performances, just compare A and B. Forget everybody else for a second. Let's look at the body of work within the organization. 2018 to 2019, two very different systems. You are asking much more, but the ceiling, as the ceiling grows and gets higher, the bottom starts to come up with it as well. So the regularity of performances makes it a bit easier, to be honest. So you see this gelling group where very much a plug and play type system, and I mean that in a positive way.
Adam John cushioning one down, sends it over for Joey Calistri. Now back in, Adam John rising for the header, and it's off the crossbar. Oh, it was a great little two-man game between Adam John and Joey Calistri. And John, for one of the first times this year, didn't put the ball in the back of the net against Oklahoma City Energy FC, strikes the crossbar.
Was about to go to the back line regarding plug and play, but how many times have we seen this from Junior Flemings? Spread across to Adam John. Joey Calistri goes out there. Flemings on international duty, ball right across. Great header by John. Oh, right off the crossbar. Unfortunate by the big man up top.
Corner kick coming up. Brought to you by Carvana. Whipped in, Adam John again was there, as was A.J. Cochran. And let's take a look at tonight's all-school uniform report. And for Phoenix Rising, classic red and blacks at home. Portland Timbers 2, the classy whites.
Now let's continue that conversation and go back to the back line and the defensive performances. We already alluded to Luigi Mala. You've also seen Austin Ledbetter, Bjornathan, and some of the LAFC guys earlier on this year. But every single time someone steps in, next man up, next man up. And you hate to make the reference, but it is Bill Belichick-esque at certain points in time. You know, New England Patriots. And at the end of the day, that's your job. You're a professional. These guys are just having fun. And that's one of the other things you have to take away from it, where this is a job. People don't understand this. The discipline that it takes to get up every single day, and the mental fortitude, physically as well, just so demanding. And to be able to get up and just throw your boots on, let's go have some fun. You see the pure joy coming out on the field. That's when you get the best out of every player.
Getting the best out of the likes of Adam John. Solomon Asante obviously has been on an absolute tear as of late. And of course, everybody along the back line, as Adam John might be able to get here off a long throw in from Amadou Dia, but again, T2 back line, Max Ornstill, Roy Miller holding things down. And fending off Phoenix in the opening 7.5 minutes or so. Harold Hansen getting forward though. Numbers arriving for T2 in the penalty area. Hansen, delivery, and that's a clean pickup for Zach Lubin. Mustafa Dambuya coming around the bend, in for Solomon Asante. He gets taken down. And you mentioned before that the performance from Solomon Asante over the past 6 games has been nothing short of miraculous. 7 goals and 4 assists in the last 6 contests. 3 goals and an assist in that 2-game road swing. Good enough for USL Championship Player of the Week.
Here's when you can make that analogy and tie together from the Eastern and Western Conference. Tyler Pasher on a similar run right now. 6 goals in 7 games, only 2 assists, but guys that are red hot for teams sitting atop the East and West.
10 goals and 8 assists on the season for Solomon Asante. 2 assists away from the double-double, literally at the halfway mark in the season. John Baquero's free kick is awkward. Shouts for a handball, not going to be given. Jose Aguinaga trying to win it back for Phoenix. Able to do so. Musa Curls it in for John Baccaro. He's got loads of space to be able to pick his head up and pick somebody out. And there was contact at the back post, not going to be awarded by our head referee, Matthew Thompson. Now Alijajivic releasing T2 the other way. Here's Foster Langsdorff. AJ Cochran gets a good touch to it. It should be last touch off of Langsdorff. Head referee was looking for some sort of signal from his assistant referee, and finally it was going to be called a corner in favor of T2.
Benefit for the runner here as Langsdorff cutting back across the body. Well done by AJ Cochran to just play the angles game a little bit. Foster Langsdorff, it's funny to think of him as a veteran. The amount of repetitions he's gotten for T2 is only his second year as a professional. I'll get it.
Zach Lubin says cheerio. Best play on a new Ford is at Sanderson Ford. Shop Arizona's largest selection of new Fords with no hassle, no pressure, and no nonsense. Sanderson Ford is America's most awarded Ford dealership. For customer service, shop Sanderson Ford. AJ Cochran rising for the header. Harold Hansen, though, bringing it down. Big switch over for Brian Hurtado. Mustafa Dumbuya did really well. Solomon Asante sees the space in front of him. Now looking for Joey Calistri. That's an excellent ball. Great first touch. Here's Calistri, and he just missed it. It was picture-perfect football back to front up until the finish, but you have to love that if you're a member of Phoenix Rising.
This is one of the dangers for T2. They love to get Nathan Smith and Harold Hansen going forward, similar to what the Rising do, but there's the trailing run by Nathan Smith getting back. Quick transition, too much pace by Solo, and then on the back post, Joey Calistri makes a mess of it. Lovely first touch out in front. Has to bury this. Phoenix should be out in front by 1. There was a shout from Nathan Smith, looking up to Hurtado as well. On that giveaway on the near touchline, saying you got to stay in front. It's okay if you're going to secede possession here and there. You and I were talking about how you don't always have to win every single ball. Yes, you'd like to be the benefactor. Yes, you'd like to be in control. However, every now and then you're going to give it up. That's okay, but be smart about it. That's where you kind of did with AJ Cochran. You play the angles game. Make sure that if you're going to give it away and you know that it's going to go the other direction, you're not giving them a free pass. Basically what they did right now to Solomon Asante.
Dumbuya taken down by Hurtado. Caro in for John. Solo won't be able to get there, and he'll go back to T2. Phoenix right now on the season with a +26 goal differential. By and far, best goal differential in the Western Conference, and even in the Eastern Conference as well. And Devin, we were having this conversation about just sort of the stark difference in approaches to the game in the two conferences as Adam John almost sent the other way. And Ivicic off of his line.
My favorite was looking at the East, and I give a little chuckle because Bob Lilly's squad, the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, so defensive-minded. Now they're on a tear in the last 4 games. Only 5 wins, they're +11. To give you an idea of what's going on in the West, not a single other team has a double-digit goal differential than Phoenix Rising. When you jump back over to the East, you've got 6 that are over 10. It's just the brilliance on the defensive side of the ball for the likes of Louisville, Tampa Bay Rowdies, Indy 11, even Red Bull have been better this year. It's quite interesting what they've been able to do over there. But it's a very different game out here in the Western Conference, much more wide open.
Oh, and look at this between Dumbuya and Asante. Dumbuya looking for Calistri. What a save off the line from Ivicic. Another scintillating build-up from Phoenix. Joey Calistri again was asked to finish, but he was denied by Alijajivic.
He can't believe it, he saved it.
Now it's Musa bending one in, looking for John. And Portland Timbers, too, can take a deep breath.
Phoenix trying to play quick here. That ball to the back post, quite impressive. Joey Calistri is going to have difficulty the entire time. This is going to bounce right in front of him. To hit this on the one hop, almost impossible. Love the idea. Header, bring it down. then brings it back off the pitch, challenged the goalkeeper. And that's a Portland Timbers goalie who's looking to break into Giovanni Savaresi's squad, has yet to do so.
Calixtro. Good look here from T2 on the other end. Chance with the left foot, but it's skied and sent into the Red Fury.
There's that cut in we talked about, where Calixtro will just drift in from the outside wing position. Loves to bring it inside, and Shinoheda will rotate back out. Good interchange here, and it's one of the things that you'll notice between some of the guys top of the Western Conference. Phoenix, T2 just now. Not so much in Reno, but Fresno and New Mexico United do it as well, where they're always interchanging their play, and it makes it difficult on the defensive side of things to account for multiple overlapping runs. A bit transient in their movements.
Asante, big sweeping ball. Picking out Calistri again. Here comes Dia around the bend. Amadou Dia now on the first time. Takes a little deflection. Solomon Asante will keep it in play. Edge of the area. Baquero will go for goal. That took a deflection and a corner kick coming up. And Phoenix Rising is pleased to have players of Del Sol and Arizona FC as tonight's First Watch Ball Kids. Be sure to visit www.firstwatch.com to find your neighborhood First Watch, the daytime cafe. Phoenix already with two magnificent chances. Both coming by the way of Joey Calistri. Both were products of brilliant build-up play. Here's Baquero on the corner. Little outswinger. Solomon Asante was hoping that that might fall for him. Here's James Moosey, can't strike it from there. We've already seen it once this year. Baquero. And Joey Calistri able to win Phoenix yet another corner. Joey Calistri, who's really taking advantage of the opportunity that's been given to him with the absence of Junior Flemings, away with the Reggae Boys, who of course are going to be taking on Panama in the quarterfinals of the Gold Cup in Philadelphia at Lincoln Financial. It'll be tomorrow night as Ivacic off of his line spills it and cleared away by Todd Wharton, one of the few veterans on this Portland Timbers 2 side. What do you like tomorrow in that matchup?
No comment.
No comment?
I'm not bringing one on that one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
all right. Touchy. Naga goes to ground. Harold Hansen taking the space, give it to him, and there's plenty of it. Now slipping it through, but a bit too much on that one.
I see that grin over there. You want me to talk about that game so bad. The amount of film that's going on right now, and so my brain's like a scrambled egg. Getting ready for the semifinals and the final, and opportunity to see all those guys do battle. Panama's the better team, in my opinion. The way that things have played out, they put the ball down, they play nicer. It's a more fluid movement. Athletically,
I think there's more talent on the Jamaica side.
there is more talent. I didn't say that there was less talent.
Yeah.
Panama plays a prettier game, we'll say. How'd that work out for Canada today, though?
This one takes a little deflection. Joey Calistri looking for Solomon Asante. Oh, and how did that not go in? Ivacic stuck a foot out, was hoping that he just might be able to keep it out from the goal, but Solomon Asante, oh, how many times will you see him miss this?
Slovenian can't believe that this pings right off him. Bring it back across his body. He thought the goalkeeper was going to be tracking the near post. So did everybody else in the stadium. He thinks this crosses the line. Too difficult to tell from there.
Corner back in. Amadou Dia wins it. but a bit handsy in trying to win it.
Phoenix have to find a way to close one of these chances out. 20 minutes in. An absolute clinic being put on right now by Rising. Nothing to show for it yet. Quite interesting how much we've seen out of Solomon Asante, Joey Calistri, Adam John already. All comes full circle into the comments made earlier about how this team is just bought into the thought process of what their philosophy is, what they want to look like going forward on a regular basis, no matter who's up top.
And you made an interesting comment to me the other day on the phone when we were just having one of our daily chats about Phoenix, is that despite the numbers from Solomon Asante being just mind-boggling at this point, that you probably think his form was better last year.
When you look at what he was able to do, one-on-one situations, his strikes from distance, really setting guys up, it was better last year. The numbers are better this year. He's got 4 penalties in the back of the net. So, and I'm not taking anything away from what he's done, but what you're seeing in this game right now, that's the Solomon Asante of 2018. A lot of them are deflections and things kind of bouncing his way. They get him in form, you're really in trouble. I mean, now all bets are off. Watch out, just hand them the crown. I mean, honestly, they have that much of a high ceiling that they will be miles ahead of the rest of the teams. And that's the thing you got to realize right now. This is an opportunity for Phoenix not only to go after history and the likes of competitive wins, consecutive wins, unbeaten streak, things like that. More importantly, you get a chance to distance yourself from everybody else in the Western Conference. Teams like New Mexico United, who are dropping and tying teams because of their open come run. Teams like Fresno and El Paso, who are tying teams on games that they should win. You just continue to rattle off wins. You know, currently right now, virtually, sitting 5 ahead of T2. Could easily make that 8 by the end of the night, and that's second place. And again, there's other matches going on, but you could hit 20 games into the season and have a double-digit lead in points.
Amadou Tia looking for Adam John, brings it down, now cuts it back looking for Calistri, but it's great cover in the end from Todd Wharton. That is exactly what you want from your box-to-box midfielder. That's an outstanding play from the Virginia product.
T2's got to find a way to relieve some of this pressure. Cannot maintain this all game, and I was talking to you about it, how in the Orange County game they got pounded. Just shot after shot, but it wasn't like this. Orange County tends to hold the ball a bit more, go side to side, not the case with Phoenix.
And I assume Dambuya was told by the assistant referee that it was offside.
Leave it. Leave the gun, take the cannoli.
Jivicic, unbeknownst to him, probably making one of the better saves that you'll see in the USL Championship this year. I don't want to say he gave up on the play, but he didn't slide over.
He knew he was in trouble.
Yeah.
You could see by his body language coming back across that this is going to end up in the back of the net. The way that the ball was coming across to Solomon Asante, that's just tuck it right home, easily right down the middle or even possibly to the near post. The odds that that's going to come back across his body, not very good. He just assumed that the goalkeeper was going to be doing his job. Unfortunately, the goalkeeper fell behind. Asante put it where he should have. I mean, that's where you want to go.
He finished the same one against OKC Energy FC the same exact way.
You want to go against the momentum.
Yeah.
You head it down and you play it against the run of play. He did everything right. Ivic just got it wrong.
Asante back for James Musa. Look at all the space that Phoenix are able to create again. Through for Solomon, but again, the cover from T2 is right where it needs to be. Musa wins it back. Baquero. Nice and tidy for Jose Aguinaga. And he's able to win a corner. 2019 Nissan Armada, intelligence with attitude. Shop your local Nissan store and choose Nissan.com today. Yeah, trying to bring it down. Difficult though. Aguinaga back for Dia. Gets on the right side of Hansen. Somehow still with it. Now it's Aguinaga in for John. Trying to just flick it along. Guiano. And Mustafa Dambuya positioned right where he needs to be. Dia thought about going early. Kalistri will try to see this out for a corner. Stays in play. Now it's Aginaga bending one in. Baquero keeps it in play once more. Keeps it low. Asante in front. Was Asante taken down? No. And a goal kick coming.
Watch out, Roy Miller just went down in front of Ivicic. Solomon Asante felt like he had an opportunity on the near post. Got a feel for T2 right now, just sluggish coming out the gates. Roy Miller still down on the ground, wincing in pain almost assuredly. This will be a trainer coming out to take a look at him. As his outside back, Nathan Smith, comes over. Check on the Costa Rican. He's one of the veteran leaders we talked about, the bright light on this back line, who has fallen out of favor with Portland Timbers. Who's still a repeat offender here for Cameron Knowles and his boys. This looks like a team that is in the run of 4 games in 14 days. You and I were talking about it before coming on air. Home versus Fresno, on the road at Orange County. That midweek fixture at home against Reno, and now on the road again. Phoenix gets the fun side of it, where mentally having a blast, physically enjoying themselves, just look like a walkabout every single time they've gone out, taking everybody to the cleaners. T2, on the other hand, have had a rough go of it. And this is the last look if you're Cameron Knowles on the road, the way that you've started so far. Have to make a change on the back line, especially in the likes of Roy Miller.
And right now, Roy Miller's Costa Rica engaged in a dogfight with Mexico in the quarterfinals of Gold Cup over in Houston. Raul Jimenez has the lone goal in that game as Mexico lead 1-0. Winner of that match will take on Haiti. Haiti features 2 USL Championship players, Machak Jerome and Jem Gaffrard. Roy Miller had over 50 caps, couple of goals in his Los Ticos career. Resume play here in the 27th minute. Off the backside of Luigi Mala, just has to get rid of it. Bit of a hospital ball from Roy Miller, cleared away. Kalistri in for Asante. Great little move, and now the foul's going to be called, and it's called on Nathan Smith. And a dangerous set-piece opportunity coming up for Phoenix in a very similar spot to where John Baquero tucked away a goal for Phoenix on the road against OKC Energy FC at Taft.
Nathan Smith going to be frustrated with himself, and he knew the move was coming the entire time. Bit of showmanship by Solomon Asante. Rick Sean says that he knows sometimes those bumps, you have the liberty going to ground and making the referee pull that whistle. This one in a dangerous area, 25 yards out, and let's give you an option for a left footer or a right footer. This on the wall setting up. Ivicic going with 4. A couple rising players occupying some spots as well. And this is a great shooting opportunity, not taking anything away from the ability by John Baquero. But there is loads of space down on this bottom side. If he wanted to slide one in, they could easily a cheeky little set piece, either peel off by James Musa and then have a go, but most assuredly this will be a direct strike.
Baquero, and Ivicic hangs on to it with a number of Phoenix players looming, as it would have been a feeding frenzy had he spilled it.
I like the look though. Even though they didn't use Musa, it was a bit of a decoy. He peeled off and he got one of the T2 players to come with him. That's one less in the wall of a white shirt and more of an opportunity for Baquero to pick and choose exactly which side he wanted to go to.
Phoenix fans barking for a handball. Challenge put in by Aginaga. Pardon me, that was John Baquero, as now it goes out wide. Early delivery. Bit of a collision there between Mustafa Dambuya and the on-rushing T2 player, but Zach Lubin will take it.
You can see exactly what T2's trying to do. Once again, that rotation back out. Good job by Carlos Anguiano in the middle of the field. He and Todd Wharton have their hands full with all the movement in Baquero and Aguinaga. And if they have to, they will sit again. With all due respect to that performance at Orange County. Yes, they got played out. However, they still found a way to win. So even if they have to sit and get beat up a little bit, they're more than capable of sustaining that pressure and then just choosing their opportunities when they have the slightest bit of chances.
Joey Calistri again, all the space out on the left wing. Baquero. Asante helps it along for Dambuya. More clever play from Phoenix in the attacking third. Baquero lashes it across, spilled in front. Calistri was waiting for it, but Todd Wharton clears it away. Ivicic standing on his head in this first half hour, and it remains 0-0. Dia, positive first touch, now cuts it back. Dia looking to peel it back for Adam John. Solomon Asante, great work to keep it in play. Matthew Thompson not calling a foul, and then muscled away by Max Ornstill. AJ Cochran judged the bounce beautifully. Now here comes Phoenix again. Aguinaga. Oh, it's another perfect ball for Baquero. Beautiful first touch. Solomon Asante sliding it through for Dambuya. Was he taken down in the box? Yes, it's a penalty. Finally, Phoenix get rewarded. Mustafa Dambuya with a darting run from the outside back position. Great idea from Solomon Asante. And the hosts with a chance from 12 yards away.
Guess where this comes from once again? AJ Cochran. Everything coming off his ability to bring this ball down. So nice. And then the outlet pass all the way over. Baquero picks it up, sees the run through. Asante tucks it in, and just in behind. Referee gets it right. Trailing run by Max Ornstill. Takes Dambuya out. Nathan Smith involved in that as well, tucking back over, having a word with the referee. Getting a yellow card for his efforts as well. Now an opportunity, Solomon Asante, to make it 5 from the mark this year.
Well, they have been not just knocking on the door, but pounding on the door of Portland Timbers 2. Have yet to break through as we pass the half-hour mark. And now it's Captain Solomon Asante, from where he is usually so sure-footed. Ivicic has been brilliant between the sticks, awaits. Solomon Asante. There was never a doubt. Phoenix lead 1-0. Make it 8 in 7 games for Solomon Asante, 11 on the year.
Just before this, I motioned to you which way I thought he was going to go. It was interesting by the goalkeeper from T2. Ivicic, you get a better look. He reads it, but he second guesses himself. Very tentative in his actions. Well done by Solomon Asante, though. There's pick that corner. Lethargic, and he does get a little touch. That big frame seat pauses. It starts to go to his left. Questions whether or not he wants to continue his movement. Then gets back into it. Unfortunately, it's too little too late. The Ghanaian puts him out in front of the 32nd minute.
We are going to have our hydration break in the desert, and Phoenix Rising get an opportunity to talk things over, but to be completely honest, I don't know if there's much different that they could be doing right now.
I would say finish, but the goalkeeper's just pulled out some wondrous saves. Saw Joey Calistri a few times opening 10 minutes. Can't do anything when the netminder just steps up and does brilliant efforts for himself. Kept T2 in it. You can just feel that pressure, one after another, being applied. It didn't matter if it was Asante, Adam John Baquero got involved in the act. Some overlapping runs from Amadou Dia. And finally, the outlet pass from AJ Cochran makes its way through the middle, outside. Baquero finds Asante. Asante into Dambuya, who goes to the ground. Asante finishes it off.
11 goals and 8 assists for that man who is probably pegged as the early season MVP candidate before our 2019 campaign even started. And Phoenix Rising right now probably playing some of their best football of 2019. And that's in the midst of a 7-game winning streak, which is a really scary thought for the rest of the Western Conference. Meanwhile, a lot of credit to Portland Timbers, too, who were able to fend off Phoenix. And while there were a lot of gaping holes and their defense looked eerily similar to Swiss cheese at points, Ivicic was brilliant. Todd Wharton did a good job in the middle of the field, and they were trying to deal with a Phoenix attack that very few teams have been able to deal with. But again, this is a Portland Timbers 2 team that has come such a long way since 2017, a year when they barely achieved double-digit points. They were at the bottom of the Western Conference barrel. They earned themselves a number 6 seed in the Western Conference postseason a year ago, fall to Phoenix in the first round a week after beating them. But, I mean, this is a Phoenix team right now that there are very, very few teams who can hang with them, let alone the Western Conference, just the entire league.
There's a good look at Cameron Knowles and Andrew Greger on the sideline having a go at his boys, 35 minutes in, struggling to keep up. This game ain't over, though. I promise you, it is not over. T2 will not go quietly into the night. One of the main issues they're having, and I understand it, is they're trying to stick to their own philosophy. They want to get their attack going forward. They want Nathan Smith and Harold Hansen to continue their movements up. But time and time again, they're getting caught in the space behind. Solomon Asante, Joey Calistri getting in behind this back line, and it's very difficult for Roy Miller and Max Ornstill to account for all the runners. That's why you're seeing Todd Wharton track back so much, and they have to find a way to do what they're doing now. Put the foot on their ball and just go side to side. Give themselves a little bit of a breather. Don't always have to go forward.
Great moves by Hurtado. By Joey Calistri. Great first touch by Solomon Asante. Now James Musa the other way, looking for Jose Aguinaga. Ivicic off of his line. Well played by Nathan Smith. Giano, Zach Lubin well off of his line. Portland Timbers 2 trying to capitalize. Zach Lubin retreating now. Good chance here for T2, blocked in front. Now a secondary opportunity, and Portland Timbers 2 has scored. It's Christian Ojeda. And just like that, the visitors, who have had minimal opportunities the entire evening, take advantage of sloppy play at the back from Phoenix. It's 1-1 at Casino Arizona Field.
Truly thought this opportunity was going to go by the wayside. When Calistro doesn't hit it first time, Zach Lubin, what is going on the back line? But great composure, well done to just step on it. Questionable handball, whether or not Dia got to it or not. His hand is down by his body, they let him play on. The deflection comes off Ojeda, he follows it up and just tucks it into bed in that bottom corner. Told you, far from over for the visitors, and they can make them pay within minutes of the Solomon Asante PK.
Ojeda with his first goal of the year. And it's a massive one for T2 in this battle of number 1 and 2 in the Western Conference. Zach Lubin giving up a rare goal in what's been a magnificent run in between the pipes. Message from Cameron Knowles during that hydration break was something along the lines of, I think I'll find these goals here about the same size as our ones back in Providence Park.
Just inside 5 minutes, able to equalize. It's a team that has a massive amount of ability. We've told you that. Here they go again.
More touch though from Hurtado. Now it's Solomon Asante the other way. A lot of space to work with. It could be a 3-on-2 if they hurry. Asante still with it. Joey Calistri curtailing his run. Now it's Aguinaga. Bends it in. And Adam John wanted that ball on the deck.
Bit of a gateway there for Aguinaga. Decide if he wanted to shoot or play this ball back across and find Adam John. You can see that in his movements. Not enough to challenge the goalkeeper. Take enough off it to allow Adam John to get ahead on it. This is the T2 you've come to know and love over the past 2 years, what Cameron Knowles has been able to institute outside of that terrible ball played up the other side of the field by Anguiano. Got a nice grace about them as well. They can knock it around. As bad as it was for the opening 32 minutes. Just took that goal by Solomon Asante from the penalty mark to wake them up. And they just got pounded into the ground. It's a good look by Rick Schantz, just saying, want to move the ball. A lot of individual efforts right now for Phoenix Rising over the past few minutes. Have to find a way to get back to what was working at the earlier portions of this half.
Mala stepped up. James Musa got a touch to it, but still space available for T2 as Phoenix committed a couple of different defenders forward. But now able to get back behind the ball. Todd Wharton. Ojeda, the goal scorer, takes a shot now, pushes it out wide for Harold Hansen. 1v1 with Amadou Dia. Good matchup here. Hansen trying to cut it back, and last touch coming off of Hansen, and a goal kick for Phoenix. At Jackson's Car Wash, you get a free car wash with every Phoenix Rising ticket. Visit phxrisingfc.com/Jacksons for more information. Asante. Roy Miller had to keep it in play as Jose Aguinaga was looming in the area, trying to pick a clean one off. Almost have to agree with Foster Langsdorff there. Did not look like he touched that.
That's a gift. Mala took this off his chest beautifully, but didn't release it immediately. Foster Langsdorff had some nice pressure on the backside. Needs to pay attention though, his team has possession.
Timbers too, playing with a lot of confidence at the moment after that goal from Christian Ojeda, which leveled things in one. 42nd minute. Hansen again. Running right at Amadou Dia. Harold Hansen pulls the shot wide. I saw Harold Hansen for one of the first times back in 2017 when he was just 17 years old. And just sort of said to yourself, this guy has a boatload of talent. It's actually when Phoenix Rising were able to clinch their first ever postseason berth on the road at Providence Park. Who had the game-winning goal? Sean Wright Phillips.
Massive amount of games ago. I have trouble remembering what game I did last night.
All right, fair enough.
Alone goals
Bethlehem Hartford.
Thanks, appreciate that. You were there.
I was.
That's right.
I think.
To the credit of what this staff has been able to do. That was a time where Vancouver Whitecaps 2 were still around. T2 was around, and you could almost chalk it up as a win at that point in time every time they showed up on the fixture schedule, and not the case anymore. I thought it was quite interesting chatting with Cameron Knowles about that, and when Caleb Porter left, Knowles was part of that staff that was with him, an assistant for such a long period of time.
Dumbuya, good ball across. Ivicic hangs onto it, and it was difficult.
A lot of times you'll see when a regime change comes through, Porter steps down, Giovanni Savarese steps in, that they'll clean house and they'll get rid of everyone. That's not the case of what's going on for the Portland Timbers organization. Kept a lot of very valuable pieces. Cameron Knowles, one of them. Just been able to continue this youth development movement with T2, and they've gotten some quality results. More importantly for them, they've been able to move some nice pieces through their academy into Portland Timbers 2, and guys like Marvin Loria, Eric Williamson, who are starting to pay dividends with Portland Timbers. Marvin Loria actually recently scored in his debut. Second opportunity, and Eric Williamson still trying to break through into the 11. being used, at least in the 18, more often than not.
It has not been a good look for Portland Timbers at Major League Soccer, though. Good ball through. Asante gets it right back. Solomon Asante going for goal. Joey Calistri did well to just sort of hit the deck knowing that Asante was going to go for goal. Cameron Knowles can't believe that it was called a corner. He doesn't know where the deflection came from.
Jaden Brown in the background as well. Trying to figure out what the fourth official is discussing here. Joey Calistri has to do better. There needs to be a shout from the backside turn. You can see he felt like had some pressure, didn't bring it back across his body.
Asante challenging for the header.
Go figure.
Coming up at halftime, we're kicking it with your Phoenix CW. Stock up on Phoenix Rising swag for under 50 bucks. Adam Walt shows you what you can get for the money at the team shop. Coming up at halftime. Should we apologize for what we did to Adam last home game or no? It did go viral a bit in the Phoenix community.
He should be a goalkeeper.
No.
I told you, he's a marking bat. He's got a lot of energy, takes direction well. Put that guy in a one-on-one situation any day on the touchline to help him out. I bet money on him. He's my guy on the outside.
Going up against who? You?
No. Let's give him someone that he has a chance with. Easy.
I can't think of anybody.
You're set up to fail on that one.
I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. It's 4 minutes of stoppage time here in the desert. James Musa on the turn. Solomon Asante and look at Mustafa Dambuya. Solo. Nice little move. Solomon Asante straight at Ivicic. And he is racking up the save count.
Todd Wharton and Guiano not on the same page there as Ojeda had rotated back across. Midfielder just couldn't figure out which direction Wharton wanted to go.
Amadou Dia in space again. Calistri circles back on his right, goes for the curler, nothing doing. I think it's 6 saves now for Aliaj Ivicic
In the first half.
Zach Lubin hasn't had to make one. It's always going to be a good one between Portland Timbers 2 and Phoenix. It usually is when these two sides meet. Solomon Asante got things started from the penalty spot right after the half-hour mark. And then it was Christian Ojeda just 5 minutes later after the 32nd minute goal from Asante. Got his first goal for Portland Timbers 2. Chance. The instruction from the technical area is patient. Baquero. Oh, it falls nicely for John. Asante. Just taking one in, hoping for Adam John.
Decision making not as crisp as we saw in the opening 30 minutes, especially from Solomon Asante. The one before where overlapping run from Dambuya wide open would have allowed them to get multiple numbers into the box. Instead he cuts inside, goes alone on the left foot.
This falls for John. Adam John takes it with the left foot, blocked by Roy Miller. Upsets Amadou Dia. Harold Hansen running out of room. Couldn't quite keep it in play. Sante, shifty little move again. Dumbuya. And Christian Ojeda, the goal scorer for Portland Timbers, too, clears it away, and that's going to do it for the first half from Casino Arizona Field between the best of the West. Phoenix Rising FC protecting a 7-game winning streak. Solomon Asante with his 11th goal of the season. Christian Ojeda, his first goal this season, and that's how we finished the first half. Devin Curry, thoughts?
But for Phoenix, you got to figure out a way to get this going. You can't switch off. Circuit's always running. Full 90 minutes game. That's one of the things that you really haven't seen on a regular basis. They've done it recently. However, this is a long season, a long game. The visitors were never going to back ground. 1-1 at halftime.
I'm Adam Waltz, and you're kicking it with your Phoenix CW. Welcome to halftime.
Phoenix Rising fans are some of the best in the game, and we know you love to look the part. So next time you're out at Casino Arizona Field, I found your one-stop shop for all things Phoenix Rising.
Hey, I'm inside the team shop at Casino Arizona Field, where before kickoff, every home match, this place is just popping. Very busy with people looking to pick up their jerseys, those scarves, even though it's 100 plus outside, and there's a bunch of stuff you can pick up, and I'm gonna show you what you can get. You only got 50 bucks in your pocket. You got a lot of small things here. You got beanies, socks, koozies, license plates. If your seat gets a little sore, you got some seat cushions that you can sit on, and every home match here at the Phoenix Rising team shop, there's gonna be a featured item. For this match, it's the Phoenix Rising Pride t-shirt, but it's gonna be different every single home match.
I'm picking up this Pride t-shirt.
Why?
Because I love it. I love to support the cause.
So you could get a training top, just like the players wear. You could get even 2 or 3 t-shirts, and we have a lot of custom hats that you're only gonna see at the arena.
So you got a budget of 50 bucks. Here we go. We're gonna go beer koozie, that's 9 bucks. License plate outline, that's 5. Here we've got a seat cover, that's 20. So that leaves me just about $15 to pick up that special item. And you better get here quick before kickoff because there's already rowdy fans.
Let's go, Rising! And fans, the players are noticing all of your support. From the craziness in the stands to seeing the t-shirts and bumper stickers all around town, your support is firing up the team. AJ Cochran says he's seen it from the start of the season.
The big moment for me was when we did our jersey unveiling. That theater was rocking, and you could just tell the passion and their enthusiasm about the team, and the following and the support has just been class. So I can't wait to play in front of them and be out there and hopefully give them a lot to cheer about.
If you can't make it out to the game, you can always shop online at shoprisingfc.com.
When we come back, highlights from around the USL. More kicking it right after this.
Federal, our passion is to help out the community where you live and work, because where you bank should make you feel good. Show your support for the home team with the Phoenix Rising Visa debit card. When you open a new account, you can score $100 just for using your card when you shop. How's that for an easy goal? Be a part of our commitment to the community. Arizona Federal Credit Union.
Mobile Mini is a lockdown defender. Have peace of mind using Mobile Mini, guarding all of your valuables on site, at home, or at your business. Mobile Mini storage containers are made of 100% steel and maximize your protection with our patented Tri-Cam locking system that is camera-proof, cut-proof, and drill-proof. Proud partner of Phoenix Rising FC.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a few years old or dinosaur old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
For almost 2 decades, San Diego has been waiting for a professional soccer club it can call its own. Now led by leading soccer executive and co-founder of Sacramento Republic FC, Warren Smith, and legendary United States men's national team player Landon Donovan, its club has arrived. The USL Championship is coming to the University of San Diego's Torero Stadium, bringing all the excitement of the fastest growing league in North America to one of the top soccer markets in the United States.
All right, gentlemen, I don't think we need to kind of review what this game means, but it is a really important opportunity for us. I think it's an important opportunity for you guys in a lot of ways. Goal is to advance in the U.S. Open Cup by beating Cincinnati. It is that simple. Any questions? Let's go, gentlemen. Let's go. It's more than just the two clubs. There's a bit of an angst between the cities, quite frankly. You can feel it.
There's just so much on the line. We're in the 3rd year now of seeing FC Cincinnati with, a lot of big moments that have happened and history built up.
Last year we came here twice and we won both games. Dealing with the crowd, the pressure, I think is one advantage that we'll have as we've dealt with it.
4th round of the 2019 Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, the site of the renewal of one of the great budding rivalries in U.S. soccer, FC Cincinnati. Now the big dog from Major League Soccer hosting Louisville City FC, a rainy Nippert Stadium, the perfect place, Lorena, to renew the River City rivalry.
Sam Warner, the beauty. Jamal Johnson, he only knows bangers.
Look at Tater moving up. And Tater, what a beautiful strike. Are you kidding?
Johnson from distance.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
A great save from C.J. Cochran.
Moving through halftime here in the Valley of the Sun. Phoenix Rising FC and Portland Timbers 2 deadlocked at 1 apiece. Goals from Solomon Asante and Christian Ojeda. Tyler Terrence along with Devin Kerr. Glad to have you with us as we hope that you're enjoying a beverage, a snack, whatever you might be enjoying at halftime. Some news and notes from around the USL Championship as North Carolina and downtown Raleigh looking to open up a 20,000 seat open air sports and entertainment stadium. Great stuff over there. And how about the big trade on the block? Tampa Bay Rowdies straight up. Antoine Hopino to Louisville City in exchange for Lucky M. Kosana. Brandon Allen also going to Memphis 901 FC. And of course the return of Wednesday Night Soccer between Sacramento and Fresno by that trade is juicy, juicy stuff. And a live look at the Western Conference standings says Phoenix Rising FC, of course, are going to be in first place no matter what by the end of the night. And they're just looking to create a bit more separation between themselves and the rest of the pack.
Got to find a way to get it done, though. Too many opportunities in the first half to be seated, nodding up at 1. Credit to the visitors. And when we said that they were not going to back down from this challenge, it took them 32 minutes to get going, but the final 13 minutes of the first half were impressive. Whole new ball game comes second 45.
Well, that second 45 is going to be one to surely keep an eye on as we actually have a number of juicy, juicy fixtures in the Western Conference, but none juicier than the one that you're currently tuned into. Number 1 and number 2 in the West. Currently duking it out, and it has been a great one thus far. You're not going to want to go anywhere. Back in a few moments.
Welcome back to Kicking It. I'm Adam Waltz. There are lots of things that set the Phoenix Rising apart. One of them, ownership.
The lineup of people that own this team is just incredible.
From Arizona business leaders to celebrities known the world over, the team has major backing. So who are some of these superstars behind the scenes? DJ and music producer Diplo owns a piece of the team. So does Fall Out Boy guitarist Pete Wentz.
It's not something you really experience from other teams I've played with. You don't have kind of A-list celebrities as your owners, and so that's a pretty cool thing. And it's kind of special as well at the same time, and I think it's very unique and something that Phoenix does different to everyone else.
Star power meets soccer power. It's a winning combination. For Kicking It, I'm Jay Russell.
The health and safety of players is always a big deal in the United Soccer League. Now the league is proposing a rule change to help diagnose concussions. The USL is asking to adopt a head injury substitution rule. Under the proposed rule change, if a player suffers a head injury during a match, a temporary head injury substitution could be made even if all 3 regular subs have already happened. This would allow the injured player to get properly checked out, and if he or she is cleared, they could re-enter the match. Details on the plan are still being worked out, but the USL is asking for it to be in place for the 2020 season.
Hey Rising fans, we love it when you post to social media. Now when you do, make sure you're using the hashtag RisingOnCW. Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. We want to see your spirit. Hashtag RisingOnCW. You're kicking it with your Phoenix CW. The second half is up next.
At Arizona Federal, our passion is to help out the community where you live and work, because where you bank should make you feel good. Show your support for the home team with the Phoenix Rising Visa debit card. When you open a new account, you can score $100 just for using your card when you shop. How's that for an easy goal? Be a part of our commitment to the community. Arizona Federal Credit Union.
Mobile Mini is a lockdown defender. Have peace of mind using Mobile Mini, guarding all of your valuables on site, at home, or at your business. Mobile Mini storage containers are made of 100% steel and maximize your protection with our patented Tri-Cam locking system that is camera-proof, cut-proof, and drill-proof. Proud partner of Phoenix Rising FC.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a few years old or dinosaur old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
Almost ready for the second half here at Casino Arizona Field, and we'll take a look at the half Dante as Phoenix Rising are looking to protect this 7-game winning streak and continue to create distance between themselves and the rest of the Western Conference. And away we go in the second half from Casino Arizona Field. Right now it's a point apiece for number 1 and number 2 in the West, and things would more or less stay the same. And Tyler Terrens along with Devin Kerr, glad to have you with us here on ESPN Plus, your Phoenix CW. Whatever poison you ended up choosing on the night, we appreciate you tuning in.
Don't just go through the motions, Kendall. Let's go.
Solomon Asante. Baquero was trying to go back for solo. Thought he was continuing his run, but he cuts this one out. Asante fakes the shot. Now it's Dumbuya. Run being made at the near post from Adam John. And cleared away by Portland Timbers too. T2, a good job out of the dressing room. Foster Langsdorff early ball in, and Amadou Dia able to get a clearance to it as Christian Ojeda was certainly looming in the area, and Dia was isolated 1v1. And you do see this a lot with Phoenix. When they do send numbers forward, teams are going to have opportunities. There's not going to be a lot, but it's just a matter of what you do with them.
You have to find a way to compress it defensively. Rick Shantz has talked to us about that multiple times, where when they do go with that pace, has to be one collective unit moving forward. You can't just stand and watch the brains, that is the attacking options. Everybody has to start to play a higher line so that when it does break down and you get Nathan Smith or Harold Hansen, Todd Wharton, whoever wants to make that progression for T2 to go the other way, they don't have a lot of room to work with. Where they get themselves into trouble is when there's all this gaps in the outside channels. That's where T2 has had some success so far, where they can relieve some of that pressure, maintain a bit of possession, and then slowly make their way forward.
Again, Phoenix have just been moving the ball so crisply all evening. Asante still with it, driving towards the byline, peels it back, loose in front. Now it's Joey Calistri, and it's wide of the near post.
Nice little pump fake by Solomon Asante. Initially thought he was going to play it into Dumbuya. That window of opportunity closes. Lovely little flick on. Similar to the touch we saw to Joey Calistri's opening goal for Phoenix Rising a few matches back. Calistri just couldn't finish it off. The goalkeeper once again caught out of sorts. He's had a boatload of work to do. It's the second or third time we've seen him unhappy with his goal kicks coming out of the back.
Dia got a touch to it, but Langsdorff very persistent in getting forward. Now here's Ojeda, lays it off, good little ball. Chance here for Portland Timbers too, blocked in front by AJ Cochran. Was there a foul at the edge of the area? Matthew Thompson says no, and now Phoenix will look to go on the other end. The pass too far in front of Joey Calistri and cleaned up by Max Orenstill. That press again from Phoenix, just squeezing T2 into going a bit more direct. Duichi Mala gets a forearm in the back, no call from the referee. AJ Cochran is exposed, Amadou Dia getting back. Chance here for T2 again, blocked by Cochran. Here's the shot again, and it's in for T2. And it's Ryan Hurtado. 3 minutes after we start the second half, and Portland Timbers 2, who are down a goal against red-hot Phoenix Rising, now find themselves up a goal. And it's Brian Hurtado who gives the visitors a 1-goal lead.
Rick Shantz doesn't agree with the challenge by Foster Langsdorff. Little 50-50 on the far side that allowed all of this to develop. Opens up space on that back line. He gets this wrong, to be fair. Langsdorff couldn't go right, couldn't go left. Then unleashes, goes off AJ Cochran. The bounce falls quite impressively right in front of the run. Trailing by Brian Hurtado. Lubin can do nothing but try and crash this late party on the near post. And just well done by the Venezuelan, who stays very calm. Grabs his 5th one of the season just 5 minutes into the second half, and the home team is stunned.
There's a man who's not stunned. He knows the capabilities of his side, and Rick Shantz was making the argument that Mustafa Dumbuya got fouled over on the far side when he was trying to hold up play. And just like that, Portland Timbers 2 take a 2-1 lead.
How interesting the way they've done it as well. Now they're knocking the ball around. They look crisp, they look pretty. This is what Phoenix Rising was doing at the start of the first half. The script has definitely flipped now. Phoenix has gone to a lot of one-offs, if you will, where you'll see 1-2-man games. Wasn't the case opening 30 minutes or so. Cameron Knowles' boys took some time to grow into this match, but they are definitely on the front foot now.
Hansen, not a bad idea. Luigi Mala with an awkward clearance. The foul called against Langsdorff. This is what Rick Schantz was arguing as Luigi Mala is trying to shield off the ball. And you see the extension from Langsdorff. However, if Luigi is going to put himself in between the man and the ball like that, you have to expect contact.
Here's where Rick Schantz is arguing. It's the arm at the tail end of it. If he doesn't push this arm out, that's a fair challenge. The rest of it is shoulder to shoulder, and that's why I have to give Langsdorff credit, because that's a big, big center back in the likes of Luigi Mala. And to be fair, how many times have we seen Mala body people off in the same scenario? Unfortunately for Phoenix, turns the other way against them. And honestly, it's the bounce after it as well, because to be honest, Langsdorff does not get this right. He should have played it early. He could have released it even earlier. And instead, he allowed the back line to recompose themselves. And the shot just happened to deflect right in front of the trailing runner Furtado. It's unfortunate for Rising, but good job by the number 9 up top, Foster Langsdorff.
And now Harold Hansen fouls Joey Calistri, and you have to imagine there's going to be a card here, and there will be, as Hansen was preventing the counterattack from evolving on the other end. So Hansen goes into the book in the 52nd.
Well done by the referee to step in. As Phoenix Rising had an opportunity in transition just to go the other way quite rapidly. Gives the ball away in the near touch, like great little press by Aguinaga. Well done not to overstep. And then Calistri just shields him off. The referee might have been able to play advantage there, instead opts for the whistle.
Was trying to go short with it, but it's out of the reach of Jose Aguinaga. It might have been intended for Joey Calistri, but either way, a goal kick coming up for Alijan Ivacic, and all those saves and plays that he made in the first half, and the chances missed by Phoenix now being rued here as they find themselves down 2-1 at home. And their 10-match unbeaten streak dating back to the 2018 postseason is in jeopardy. Here's Dumbuya. Nobody's stepping to him just yet. Now it's Asante again. Another early delivery. Ivacic gets a punch to it. John challenging. Amadou Dia challenging as well. And last touch coming off of Phoenix. Sonic's new Red Bull Slush was a no-brainer. Slushes are a crowd favorite. Red Bull is a crowd favorite. Hurry into Sonic for your new favorite drink. Sliding challenge in the middle of the field from Todd Wharton. This young T2 side just oozing with confidence now, up 2-1. On the first place holders of the Western Conference in Phoenix Rising as Solomon Asante breaks up that play a bit behind Joey Calistri. Baquero. Now it's Aguinaga, a little pocket of space. Cochran. Patience here from Rick Schantz's group. Solo wants to go himself. Gets the delivery away. Aginaga challenging and winning. Still Aginaga. And somehow able to get it along the byline, but last touch coming off of the former New York Red Bulls two-man. And a goal kick coming. And we'll have our first substitution of the night, as it's going to be Marco Farfan coming on and Harold Hansen coming off. So Cameron Knowles not going to take any risk of Hansen picking up a second yellow card. And on comes Marco Farfan.
Remember, Hansen also went to ground in the first half, just after Roy Miller did. Just making sure that he's able to finish this game out. He knows what's at stake. The ability to crawl a bit closer to the compatriots in the Western Conference. Talked about Phoenix Rising, their ability to distance themselves, seeming a bit further away in the topic of discussion than it was opening 10-15 minutes of this match, as T2 have done such a good job not just getting back in the game, getting out in front of it, now leading 2-1.
At least for the moment, as Baquero showing good pace here. Chow takes a deflection off of Roy Miller, and a corner kick coming up for Phoenix.
Not surprising, Marco Farfan's going to go to that far side that he's so used to at the left back position, just tucked next to Roy Miller. Nathan Smith will come back over to the right. And that flip-flop, just wonder if Rick Schantz will have a discussion with his boys about the switch. Turn things up a little bit, go at Farfan. That's going to be a new matchup for Solomon Asante.
Whipped in. It's an awkward win from Gio Calixtro, and James Musa doing his best to try to keep it in play. John wins a good header. Just downs it out wide for John Baquero. Last touch coming off of Portland Timbers 2, at least says one of the assistant referees, and Cameron Knowles again is really frustrated with the call.
I was upset with the call, and then Amadou Dia was about 10 yards down the line, trying to gain a bit of an advantage right in front of the T2 bench. Manager wasn't going to let that happen.
Asante trying to go back for Dambuya, and riding the back of Marco Farfan. Fans, it's almost time for the Sonic Happy Hour, brought to you by Sonic and your new favorite drink, the Red Bull Slush. If a Rising player scores during the 60th minute, one lucky fan will win a $500 Sonic gift card. For more info, visit phxrisingfc.com/Sonic. Solomon Asante gets a talking to. Big header from AJ Cochran. Adam John has been relatively quiet throughout this night, no? With the exception of the early header that hit off the crossbar.
It's pretty busy for the opening 20 minutes, and since then, a lot of wing play, and they just haven't been able to catch with the number 9 up top. Also, the middle is becoming a bit more clogged as he tries to get involved in this conversation. What they've done is Calixtro has started to tuck himself inside. He and Hurtado have switched sides, just making it that much more difficult for the midfield three of Phoenix Rising to play out. Joey Calixtro trying to counterbalance that a little bit, give it depth. Unfortunately, just struggling to put together multiple passes right now.
Good first touch from John. Calistri in support. Edge of the area for Baquero. Driving towards the byline, working on Nathan Smith. Good pass for Aguinaga. He goes for the curler. Blocked in front by Roy Miller. And just poked away by Calixtro, only as far as Dumbuya. Asante on the turn. Too tight of quarters. Now to Uiji Mala. A little off elbow for Foster Langsdorff as he's quick to get back to his feet. Fans thinking that there's some simulation involved. Dumbuya. Cochran with a bit of space to work with. Dia wants to run right at Nathan Smith. Big touch towards the middle of the park, trying to cut it back. Still Amadou Dia! Oh, that is sensational! Amadou Dia all by his lonesome! Devastating attack! Phoenix are back level, it's 2-2. There are moments in matches where things aren't always going your way, especially in the run of attack. We just talked about Adam John and his inability to get involved. Not his fault. For a team that was basically painting the Mona Lisa blindfolded in the first half, have not even been able to connect the dots here in the second. In steps Amadou Dia, who just takes this game over. One-on-one, tucks it inside, through the legs, around the outside. Gets his third goal in a Phoenix Rising uniform and only his first in 2019. What a fashion to do it in. Goalkeeper, legs wide open, finishes it off. Amadou Dia, we hear you, buddy. What a finish. First goal for Amadou Dia in a Phoenix Rising kit since 2017. And with all the firepower that Phoenix have at their disposal, Amadou Dia not exactly at the top of the list that you peg to get an equalizer against second place Portland Timbers 2. Giovanni Calixtro going to ground. Just a conversation with his AR on the near touchline right in front of the Phoenix Rising bench. Now the fourth official comes over. They'll discuss what they felt about this challenge. Whether or not it warranted a whistle. Nope. Move on. Throw in. 64th minute. How about Phoenix Rising? I kept looking at you. I said there's patience. They take their time. Much like T2 did in the first half. Learned, you and I talked about it a long time ago, that worrying's like a rocking chair. Gives you something to do, but it's not going to get you anywhere. You just have to stick to your guns and find a way to get back to your morals. And that's exactly what they did. It took a bit of time for them to grow into this second half, much like Cameron Knowles' boys were able to do in the opening 45 minutes, but they found a way to get it square. You better believe the final 26 minutes, it's going to be a heavyweight title fight. Set piece opportunity for T2 after the equalizer from Amadou Dia. Todd Wharton driving one in. By Adam John. Nathan Smith gets it away. John, good hold-up play. Now Beccaro looking to switch the point of attack. Does so for Amadou Dia. Lashes a great ball across, but it's right to Todd Wharton, just inches behind Joey Calistri. Now Foster Langsdorff. First substitution off the bench of Rick Schantz.
The way the game's going right now, I don't change a thing yet. Has options in the likes of Colin Fernandez, but don't really want to disrupt the midfield movement so far.
Ben Spencer.
You are lacking a look up top, and I get that out of Adam John, but it's not necessarily because of his performance. If you keep an eye, Todd Wharton's tracking back. And a lot of times you'll see Adam John come back across, just look for that outlet pass and hold up play. Because Todd Wharton is occupying that space, you can see him right now. It's just in front of the center backs. He's basically being marked by 3 guys, so it's not him.
It is Solomon Asante right now, though. Dumbuya trying to go back for John. Touch from Roy Miller. Did it go over the line? It did. And a corner coming up for Phoenix.
When you get a game like this, where it's just roller coaster, up and down, so much chemistry in the first half. Got away from that. They have found it again. You don't change it. You don't make a change at this point in time right now.
Corner righter Hurtado. Dumbuya challenges. Musa. Wasn't a bad idea from AJ Cochran. It just looked like Dumbuya wasn't ready for it. Got bumped off the ball. Sante, not a bad idea.
Keep an eye on the midfield 3 from T2 and what they've done. Ojeda started in the 10. Hurtado out on the left. Fleekstra on the right. And we saw the outside mid switch, but they've liked the matchup with Ojeda out on that left side, challenging Solomon Asante and trying to thwart off the attacking runs by Mustafa Dumbuya. Fleekstra and Hurtado are now rotating back and forth, where they're basically bouncing on this near touchline and the playmaking role in the middle of the field. It's caused a bit of confusion, to be honest, in their inability to connect going forward. A lot of long balls to Foster Langsdorff and then no support in behind.
A little more than 20 minutes remaining. Sierakowski getting ready to come on and replace Brian Hurtado is what we're being told. Goes out of play, we will get that substitution, and Brian Hurtado was the one who gave Portland Timbers 2 what was a short-lived lead. And it's Ryan Sierakowski who comes on and replaces him here in the 69th minute. Sierakowski, of course, who had that really awkward but great goal against New Mexico United. A ways back in that unbelievable game where Kavan Freider ended up scoring the equalizer. New Mexico United were up 2-0 at the start of the second half. Portland Timbers 2 scored 3. Kavan Freider, of course the former Phoenix man, scores the equalizer in the dying moments.
It's one of the odder goals we've ever seen. Tackle, or try to be tackle right at the top of the box. They pulled out. He gets it with his instep. He thought that was going to be a 50-51.
Well, it just looked like one of the greatest strikes ever. It was so clean, but that's because it was meant to be a challenge.
The big question mark with Sierakowski is where Cameron Knowles want to use him. One guy under him and Rensing at Michigan State, who played the number 9 up top, although he admitted much better with room out in front of him to run. That's been what they've been trying to do with him here under T2, get him out on the wings, both the left and the right. Seems on the left side a bit more, though recently has had an opportunity to employ his efforts on the side of Nathan Smith and Harold Hansen on this right touchline.
Dumbuya defending. Whipped in by Nathan Smith. Delicious ball. It's won by Phoenix. And Guiano, now here's Ojeda. And Zach Lubin can see it over the bar, although was a bit interested. Just heard the public address announcer announcing the attendance here at Casino Arizona Field, just north of 6,300. Labeling it as another sellout. And just sort of becoming a normality here in the desert.
There's the switch once again. They've moved a bit higher. Sarkowski goes to the left. Ojeda has now come over to the right side. So Cameron Knowles not afraid to move things around. He really liked that matchup, and now he's going away from it.
Aginaga catches one in the back. And it's Max Orange still who gets called for the foul. A bit more aggressive than the one that we saw that led to the Portland Timbers' two go-ahead goal that was equalized by Amadou Dia. And Orange still just a talking to for the moment.
Problem as a center back here is you can lead with your body and give him a little nudge, but as soon as your arm comes out in front and it's overextended, you're just asking for trouble in front of the referee. Wrong place, wrong time to do it as well. 30 yards from goal, awkward angle. This is one that'll really test the goalkeeper as he has to account for this ball being swung in. But as deadly as Baquero is from set pieces, gotta watch that near post as well.
Baquero towards the back post. And it looked like it was won by a T2 player. Now they're saying that it came off Phoenix last and a goal kick coming for the visitors. And of course, Phoenix are immediately rushing over to Matthew Thompson. Certainly looked like it was a T2 player who won it.
Bit of communication from Roy Miller on the back line, just talking to his goalkeeper, making sure that everything is black and white. That gray area on those balls being swung in, have to find a way to communicate a bit more appropriately, not allow anybody to get ahead on it, especially someone in a red shirt, which is the case there, although that most assuredly went off a T2 player over the end line.
Todd Wharton in the space for Nathan Smith. It's a good little ball from the Virginia product. Ojeda, one of the two goal scorers tonight for the visitors. Curled in, nobody home for T2. And it looks like we're going to have our second half hydration break. Phoenix rising, having conceded the most amount of goals. Pardon, it's actually Solomon Asante who's hobbled a little bit on the most recent play. And Phoenix Rising having conceded the most amount of goals in a game since their 4-2 win over the Real Monarchs back on May 25th, a little more than a month ago. And Phoenix conceding more than a goal was sort of commonplace at the beginning of the season. You think about the opening game, 3-3 against San Antonio, 3-3 against New Mexico United, 2-2 against Colorado Springs.
Seems a far cry from where we're at now, huh?
It's unbelievable, the change, and of course what we talked about in the first half for Rick Johnson, just the defensive approach. They learned a lot of things from LAFC, and even though they're not getting as many players from LAFC anymore, the relationship between Rick Shantz, Bob Bradley, Ante Razov, and everybody on the LAFC technical staff, the relationship has remained incredible. And once a week, they're all on a conference call together. Rick Shantz is on speakerphone, and they're just sort of picking each other's brains.
The other thing you have to remember, not just for Phoenix Rising, but for every other team, that's preseason, basically. I mean, in all honesty, and I get it, the fans don't want to hear that, but 5, 6, 7 matches in, you're really only 2 months, 2.5, maybe even 3 into camp. That's not a lot of time together. And especially when you've got such a massive change in the style of play, got to find a way to really put all the pieces together. It just took them a bit longer than they would have liked. But we've seen recently what it's capable of now. And make no mistake about it, coming in, best of form in the USL Championship. And that's not just results, that's the eye test. When you take a look at the body of work, who they've been able to do it against, and the manner in which they've been able to do it, 100% firing all cylinders. Although right now, he's a couple spark plug changes. It's tied with T2, just 15 to go.
Save thousands of dollars when you buy or sell your home. Homey gives you the support to buy or sell your home without charging the 6% commissions. It's a flat $1,500 to sell your home no matter what the price of the home is. Go to homey.com to learn more. Well done by Musa in the middle of the park. Ball the other way. Aguinaga brings it down, working on Marco Farfan. Trying to go through him. Somehow gets around him. Aguinaga is still with it, and nobody making the run to the back post.
Shades of what we saw Real Monarchs a couple matches ago. You get spoiled watching Jose Aguinaga play in the middle of the field. You forget what he can do out on the wing. Those one-on-one situations. Second time in the second half we've seen him really embarrass an outside marking back Marco Farfan, getting to the byline. The ability to connect with someone coming back across on that trailing run.
Give away from James Musa. Guiano. No foul call. Now Phoenix looking to run the other way. Aguinaga finally gets it off his feet. Mustafa Nabuya. You can see Phoenix not necessarily as keen on making those darting runs. Late in the game in the 78th minute. Dia trying to go through Christian Ojeda, who's already seen him burn 2 of his teammates once tonight. Mala stepping through out of the back. And for Asante. Cuts on a dime through for Adam John. John trying to square up for Joey Calistri. Probably should have pulled the trigger.
It's really difficult from Adam John, especially from the angle that we see. Joey Calistri probably should have had his head on the swivel looking back across, because I like the idea from the talisman up top. It's really hard to tell exactly what was available to him. The options felt like the best one was coming back across the 6. On the initial touch, should have almost released it.
Now Langsdorff finding Marco Farfan. Space for T2 here. A little more than 10 minutes remaining. Farfan cuts it back. Ojeda on the first time, and it was not a bad effort. And you can see the confidence from Christian Ojeda, already having bagged his first goal in a Portland Timbers 2 kit. Looking for number 2 and what would have given them a surefire lead here in the 80th minute.
You get an idea why this kid is not only rep for the Argentinian U20s, but actually got an opportunity to train with the first team in France and Spain. Spring of 2018, beautiful ball movement, and understands exactly where he needs to be as this progression comes back across. Zach Lubin was definitely tested on the near post, as Ojeda has been the one who seems to steer this in the right direction all night long for T2 and Cameron Knowles.
Probably the last warning. That doesn't result in a little bit of mustard for Foster Langsdorff.
That conversation. Foster Langsdorff, the rebuttal. I get it. I understand. I'm a 3-time national champion. I went to Stanford. Move on.
Baquero launching one for Adam John, trying to cushion it down. Asante got a touch to it, but it wasn't enough. And Roy Miller is down again for Portland Timbers 2, and Ivacic forced to throw it away.
Sometimes you wish for Solomon Asante, hit this with your left foot. Let this come across your body and end this game. If he lets it bounce one more time, he can strike with the left. Instead, he goes for the surefire option that he thinks is his right foot. And an interesting change here for Rick Johns coming down the stretch with John Vaccaro coming off and Ben Spencer coming on.
So a last-minute change for the change, as it's going to be Ben Spencer on, Joey Calistri off.
Well, that makes a bit more sense.
So Ben Spencer will get a chance here to pair up with Adam John. As Roy Miller continues to get treatment from the training staff of Portland Timbers too. Ben Spencer, of course, came over during the offseason. He was one of those trialists that they were trying to keep hush-hush until they signed him, but because the Phoenix fans are just crazy in the best way possible, they all attended basically every single friendly that they had. And Ben Spencer was one of them who appeared. And there was a new signing on the horizon. They sort of all knew who it was going to be. And Spencer came in with a bit of a knock. Wasn't 100% match fit at the beginning of the season. Came on, did well in his first couple of games. Actually got a goal against El Paso. But it's also rep for FC Tucson along the way, just trying to get back to match fitness and nursing an injury. And now we're going to see Austin Disbay coming on in the 83rd.
And oh, by the way, you're sitting behind Adam John, Solomon Asante, Junior Flemings. Guys that are just in another world right now in terms of form. You and I were having a joke about Junior Flemings, though he's still in the run for the Golden Boot race. Hasn't been here for a couple matches.
Substitution for Portland Timbers 2. Entering the match is number 87, Arturo Guzman. Leaving the match is number 7, Roy Miller.
Roy Miller, who's been so injury-plagued the past few years, you just hope that's not the case. At the tail end of this match, that's just precautionary. You can see the goalkeeper stretching him out just a bit.
You're still crying, Miller?
Well, speaking of the Golden Boot race, Solomon Asante is actually level with Kavan Frater now on 11 goals. The foul's going to be away from the ball and go in favor of T2. Get your tickets now for the Rising Sex home match on Friday, July 19th versus Austin Bold FC. Visit phxrisingfc.com for ticket info. Just a quick little check over the shoulder. Now launches one over for Mustafa Dumbuya. How's that for a shot comparison?
They put 9 on target as well. They have just as many as on target as T2 has shots.
Ben Spencer played through. Did well to keep it in play. Dumbuya now looking for Adam John. And a good play in the middle of the park for Portland Timbers 2. 85th minute. They'll go quickly for the restart. Stands, Phoenix's 7-match winning streak will come to an end, but they will still stay unbeaten, move to 8 in that category, still maintain a somewhat comfortable lead in first place in the Western Conference standings, although a couple of teams who have some games in hand. Dia, early delivery looking for Spencer. Up steps Vaccaro, avoids one challenge. Could that play right there be one of those situations where even if you don't touch somebody, it's still a foul? Because Vaccaro had to change his whole entire movement because the T2 player goes to ground and was ultimately going to foul him.
You and I have talked about that before, where sometimes there's just enough intent where the referee can blow the whistle. Obviously, that wasn't the case, at least in the eyes of Matthew Thompson. To be fair, he's called a pretty decent game. I mean, he's let the guys play a little bit. I know there's been some frustration on the sidelines, but there hasn't really been that much where you've gone, wow, he got that wrong. And so in a situation like that, I understand it, the way the game's run, just letting him play out a bit more. I also wouldn't have faulted him if he did blow the whistle.
Stay with T2. Foster Langsdorff will leave it for Nathan Smith. Point on the road at Phoenix is certainly nothing to sneeze at if you're Cameron Knowles. Guiano switching the point of attack. Knocking on the door of the 88th minute. Mala gives it away. Chance here for T2 to perhaps steal it at the death. Squared across and a great block in front from Amadou Dia that surely saved the goal. Excellent stumps from the Frenchman. And now Solomon Asante going the other way. Double switch waiting to come on for Phoenix. It's Colin Fernandez and Andrew Wheeler-Aminu. Vaquero. Moves out wide. Mustafa Dambuya now. John on the turn. Here's Adam John. Rifles it into the backside of it looked like Max Ornstein. And now Portland Timbers 2 with a chance to break on the other end. 89th minute. Game really starting to open up. Hands are up, flag is up, offside. Phoenix wanted to go quickly. And it's going to be Andrew Wheeler-Aminu coming on and replacing Jose Aguinaga. Colin Fernandez will come on as well. Another terrific shift for Jose Aguinaga. And John Vaquero will be replaced by Colin Fernandez here in the 89th. And one last roll of the dice from Rick Shantz, trying to get some fresh legs on in the middle of the park.
I loved what I saw out of Aguinaga tonight. I don't think he gets enough credit in this system for Phoenix Rising with all the big names scoring goals and assists. Bit of an off night for John Vaquero. Wasn't at his best, which is still not bad considering what went on the field.
Spencer finds Fernandez. John. Loose out wide for Dambuya. Wheeler-Aminu. Making his 6th appearance for Phoenix. Slides one through for Solomon Asante. Lashes it all the way across, and again, nobody there for Phoenix. And it rolls out for a goal kick. Next on 2.5 men, Allen's new hair treatment is giving him extra confidence, but he quickly learns that you get what you pay for. That's coming up after the match. Just 3 minutes to be added on. We got one left in this game.
The way things are going, seems like anything is possible. necessarily know which direction it's going to come from, as T2 have started to poke their head out a bit more past 5 minutes.
Good movement here from T2. Todd Wharton. Challenge from Asante, just skipping away from it is Orange Steel. Now Marco Farfan. Good pursuit from Andrew Wheeler-Aminu.
Nasty challenge on the far side just a moment ago. Cameron Knowles letting him know his distaste for it as well. And here's some of the local fans having a bit of frustration for the youngster. There was a boatload behind this though, as Phoenix were looking to counter. Referee just walking over to Rick Schantz, having a chat, feeling maybe there should be a bit more added on to this extra time.
Not Fergie time, Ricky time.
Ricky time.
Ricky time.
Shantz's stoppage.
I like Ricky time. Not just because it's mine, just because yours is bad.
Cameron knows.
There you go. Now you're cooking.
It took me a minute.
Yeah.
Good to see Marco Farfan up and about it again. Rick Schantz was going for it, made the moves to try and continue this winning streak going. Not saying it's over by any means. There will be, I figure, at least an extra minute and a half or so onto this 3 already allotted.
Phoenix maybe one last chance here to keep this winning streak alive and move it to 8. Wheeler-Aminu moves up, trying to slip one through. Mustafa Dambuya out wide for Solomon Asante now. He curls one in. Fernandez. Now Asante lofting it in, hoping for Dia! Phoenix at the death! They keep the winning streak alive, and it's Amadou Dia! Of course with the brace!
Said it after Phoenix scored their first goal. T2 would not switch off. Guess what? Home squad has something to say about it again. Lovely job by Colin Fernandez. His ability to hold this play up. So far in the second half, they just knocked it across, no trailing runs. Instead, they cycle it back out. Solomon Asante, trailing run on the back post. Da Vinci strikes again, and his name is Amadou Dia. The winning streak lives on. They grow ever closer to the mark set in 2017 by the Real Monarchs at 9. That's in the Western Conference, and overall USL Championship history, 10 set by FC Cincinnati in 2018. Phoenix Rising wants to say about it.
Unbelievable from Phoenix Rising. They just needed a little bit more time. Amadou Dia with 2 goals on the night, hasn't scored since September of 2017 heading into tonight's match. Lubin off of his line, a clean pickup. Incredible. Losing has not been in their vocabulary this summer. Long ball sent the other way. Adam John might be able to get there. He gets a shove in the back. Is it a foul? It is. It's a penalty. And now Phoenix Rising will have a chance to really pour some salt in the wound.
Todd Wharton having a conversation with the referee, and can't believe that he's pointing to the spot here at the tail end of it. But with the way everything's gone, Adam John just held play up, got a nasty little shove on the backside. Was always going to be the decision.
Asante again from the spot. It's a wrap. It's a dozen on the season for Asante. 8 straight games with 3 points for Phoenix Rising.
Well, now the party started. How about the home fans really rocking? Fieri Roja, the Banditos, everybody happy. And of course, it all plays out right in front of the supporters section. Have to feel for the players at T2. Valiant effort tonight, and truly felt like they were going to see this thing out, at least get a point out of it. Unfortunately, that would not be the case. Drama at the end, Phoenix by 2.
Full time, Phoenix Rising FC, keep the winning train moving. Everybody wants a ticket aboard. Rick Schatz now make it 8 in a row. They're 6 points clear of the top in the Western Conference. Unbelievable. Dia is your Mobile Mini man of the match with a brace on the night. Solomon Asante gets a brace late. Both goals from the penalty spot, but Amadou Dia, both from the run of play. He was magnificent on the defensive end as well. He had probably a game-saving challenge along the goal line. Solomon Asante continues to be one of the more surefire plays from the penalty spot in all the USL Championship. And don't think we forgot, 7 consecutive regular season games with a goal for Solomon Asante, surpasses Dane Kelly for 6 straight games back in 2017 when he set all sorts of records with Reno 1868. And in a year where Phoenix set so many records in 2018, they're on course to break all of them here in 2019.
Asante goes to 12 goals on the year, adds an assist to his statistics as well, so he's just 1 away from that double-double, sitting at 12 and 9. Beautiful performance by Phoenix Rising. Have to really acknowledge the character, their ability to come back. Things were up and down in the first half. They were definitely falling behind in the second, but they found a way. Shanson squad get out by 2. They finish 3 points.
Have peace of mind using Mobile Mini, guarding all of your valuables on site, at home, or at your business. Mobile Mini storage containers are made of 100% steel and maximize your protection with our patented Tri-Cam locking system that is camera-proof, cut-proof, and drill-proof. Proud partner of Phoenix Rising FC.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a few years old or dinosaur old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
if you're going to be one of the best teams in the history of the USL Championship and break records for games won in a row, you're going to need a little bit of luck. You're going to need some nights where it just might not be going your way in terms of putting the ball in the back of the net and keeping the other side out. And Phoenix Rising FC with an 8-game winning streak. They went up 1-0. They went down 2-1. They equalized at 2-2. All hope seemed to be lost. I mean, still with a point in hand, but they somehow come away with 3 points. They score 4 goals on the night. They get 2 in stoppage time. Unbelievable stuff. Tyler Terrence along with Devin Kerr. We'll take a look on the season. Freighter has 11. New Mexico United off this weekend, but Phoenix Rising on yet for another weekend. And here's a live look at the Western Conference table. 6 points clear of Reno and Fresno. Unbelievable.
Watch out. There were some interesting results tonight as well. Last we checked, Fresno was up 3-0 on El Paso Locomotive. But this is just another opportunity for Phoenix to test themselves. How many times have we seen them out in front over this course of this stretch? They've had the opportunity to just get out in front, coast a little bit, put some more in the back of the net. Only one other time have they had to come from behind. That was the Real Monarchs. They were down 2, and they came back, and they were able to do it again tonight where, yes, they had the momentum. Yes, they had the better chances, but they couldn't close them out. Don't panic. They did not hit that button whatsoever. Rick Shantz and his coaching staff stayed calm, made the appropriate changes. He went for it at the tail end of it. He got it. Credit to Amadou Dia. Credit to every single player in a Rising jersey. Phenomenal performance.
Let's take a look at tonight's Whataburger. What a save of the match. While Amadou Dia did all sorts of things that he usually doesn't do on the offensive side of the ball, just stuck to his guns defensively. This was definitely saved the goal.
Right on the goal line, just occupying that space, coming back across. Many a defender probably would have sat further out on the post, but he steps right across. There was a good move by Kalikshar to come in the middle, a space that had proved quite nice for T2. Wasn't the case. Good job by number 13.
Phoenix Rising do it again. 8 wins in a row. They are now 11 unbeaten at Casino Arizona Field, dating all the way back to the postseason of 2018. 6 points clear atop the Western Conference. Valiant effort from Portland Timbers too, but simply not enough in the end for our entire crew and Devin Kerr. Tyler Terrence saying so long for now, and thanks for tuning in. Up next, 2.5 Men on your Phoenix CW.
The Phoenix Rising postgame show is brought to you by Nissan. Innovation that excites.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.